If you're thinking about studying engineering, this video is for you. This video is designed for current high school seniors or college students who are undeclared and don't know what they want to study yet. And if you're considering engineering, or if you're not considering engineering, by the end of this video, maybe you'll have a clear idea of if it's something you want to do. I'm going to talk to you about my experiences in engineering, and then I'm going to show you a day in my life as a second semester senior computer engineering student at Colorado State University. Be sure to watch to the end of this video for some little hints that I wish I knew myself when I started my college career. Engineering is not for everyone, and I want to help you figure out if it's right for you. This video is not going to give you a definitive yes or no should you study engineering answer, but it will help you figure out if you think you should study it. Now, you have to be passionate about what you're going to study in college. Why did I choose computer engineering? Well, I grew up in Silicon Valley. I have loved technology since I can remember. So when I went to choose a college major, computer engineering was at the front of the pack. I want to talk about 3 great things about engineering and 3 challenges, but let's start with the good. Engineering was where I learned to learn. What do I mean by this? Well, before engineering, when I had a test coming up, I would look through the textbook, look over class notes, and maybe do a practice problem or 2. I would say, yep, done, go watch Netflix, and do maybe okay on the test if I was lucky. Now, I do as many practice problems as possible and get help from TAs, professors, and colleagues, and make sure that I'm an expert in the material before the exam. This skill will stay with me for the rest of my life and make sure that I can always learn something if I need to. Now, the second good thing is the diversity of knowledge you get as an engineering student. I have taken classes in electrical engineering, computer science, physics, and advanced math, among many others. Finally, when it comes time to get a job, engineering is a very marketable major that is always in high demand. Now let's talk about the 3 challenges. Number 1, engineering is a lot of work. I have had days on campus where I spend 13 hours straight working. Engineering professors also love to assign lots of homework, labs, and projects. Number 2, engineering material can be very difficult, and that's not the same as being a lot of work. You may spend a ton of time on a problem and not actually figure out the answer yourself, even though you've put in the effort. Number 3, engineering is a lot of work. I say this twice because I mean it. Engineering takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes energy, and it is really difficult. Now I want to take you through a typical day in my life as a second semester senior. This is not typical for engineering freshman, sophomore, and junior year, but by the time you get to your senior year, you may expect something similar to my experience. So there's really no such thing as a typical day in engineering, and especially at this point in my college career, my days are no longer typical. So what I'm going to show you today is what you see at the end of 4 years, or 5 years in my case, and kind of take you through what that looks like. My day starts at 11 a.m. this semester with a class in computer architecture that's actually really interesting. You learn about memory systems and the cache and processors. And the reason I'm actually able to film this video is because I have a pretty light day, and that's a rarity in engineering, but I have worked really hard the last couple of weeks to be able to free some time for myself to be able to film this video. First class ended and I don't actually have to switch rooms, so I have a nice 15-minute break until class number 2. In class I typically try to take notes and pay attention. Sometimes it can be really challenging to do that, but I'll sit with my laptop and go through any work I have to do for that class. If I get confused, I can look up other information online, but typically I try to listen to what the professor is saying and take notes. This next class we have presentations this week, so I'm going to listen to some presentations and then head to class number 3. So that last class was pretty empty, which got me thinking about the importance of going to class, specifically in engineering. And I believe it's really important because in engineering, if you fall behind, you stay behind. So if you're somebody who maybe doesn't like to go to class or doesn't see themselves getting out of bed at 8 in the morning to go to a 9 a.m. class or 7 a.m. to go to an 8 a.m. class, especially freshman year, then engineering might not be for you. Now, as I head to my third and final class of the day, which is a Signals and Systems class, I wanted to take a minute to address my full schedule for the week so you know more than just what a typical day looks like for me. So I only have class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and those schedules are identical, but that does not mean that I don't have to work Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wednesday I do have a 1-hour senior design meeting with my full class, and that's a lecture usually from somebody in industry talking about their experience. And on Mondays and Fridays I do homework and projects and work on senior design and do a lot more other stuff like applying for jobs. Alright, so after 3 75-minute classes in a row, I can finally go get lunch. I'm not a fan of tattoos, but get this tattooed on yourself somewhere, and that is, the material will come back. Get that tattooed. I don't like tattoos very much, but it's important. And that's something I wish I knew when I started, which is that the material that you learn in Calculus 1 and these other intro classes freshman and sophomore year that may at those times feel like busy work is not. So something that we do a lot in engineering is work with other people. We have to collaborate in order to make it through these classes. So this is my buddy Steven right here. Steven, say hello.
How's it going?
And we do a bunch of projects together, so he's gonna help me with some homework, I'm gonna help him with a lab, and we're gonna hang out in our senior design lab. Now for the big question. If I had the information I have today when I began school, would I choose to do computer engineering again? And the answer is probably yes. It's really only 4 years, or in my case 5, and overall I think the benefits far outweigh the downsides, at least for me. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful or informative, I encourage you to share it with others. If you have questions for me, please write them below. I know I didn't cover everything in this video. If you are a current engineering student and would like to share your experience, please comment it below as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.